Hello, and on today's show, lots of awesome Star Wars news and more from G23.
The Burning Legion coming to an Azeroth near you.
The makers of Gone Home are at it again.
And Rainbow Bright is not showing up at Pride this year.
This is the Geek 30 Happy Hour. Welcome to our very first episode of the Geek 30 Happy Hour. My name is Alex Albisu, and I'm joined by my very good friend and co-host, Jojo Maldonado.
Hello! I swear we're two different people altogether.
Yeah, we just kind of figured out our voices kind of sound similar.
We did not intend on this.
Yeah.
So you're hearing one person in stereo.
It's kind of weird.
But we're here. We love video games. This is where it all kind of spawned off. We love geek stuff. We love Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and everything. We just want to talk about everything. And we're adults now, so why not add some beer to it?
Bingo. So this show is all about video games, geek culture, and alcohol. Specifically beer. Most of the time beer. I'm thinking beer most of the time. What do you think?
Most of the time.
Yeah. So, an excuse to hang out with each other and talk about all things nerdy and let you folks listen to it.
Cheers.
So, with that, let's talk about today's beer of the show. So this is kind of selfish.
It's a little selfish, but I don't mind. It's a really good beer.
Yeah. My favorite beer in the world is Newcastle Brown Ale. For anybody listening to this show who knows me, they understand that I adore this beer so much. So we're not going to typically have pretty mainstream beers like this on the show. We're going to actually have a different beer every show that we're going to feature and kind of talk about the things that we love about it.
Try to find some microbrews, try to find some local stuff, stuff that's hard to find, just stuff that's different to see what's good out there.
Yeah, and just a little bit about this beer. If you guys haven't ever had it, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for.
There's no excuse to not have it.
But yeah, per their website, after 3 years of perfecting his recipe, Colonel Jim Porter released Newcastle Brown Ale in Newcastle upon Tyne. Tyne? Is that a thing? Tyne?
It's Tyne.
Tyne.
In Europe, so it could be mad.
Yeah, I don't know. In 1927, just 1 year later, Newcastle Brown Ale won gold at the prestigious International Brewers Exhibition in London in 1928. Afterwards, Newcastle Brown Ale became one of the most favored beers of northeast England and a symbol of the hardy working class of the region. Now, many decades later, the one and only Newcastle Brown Ale is the number one brown ale and number one import ale in the United States.
So thank you to Colonel Jim Porter. He's a colonel, so you got to trust him.
Yeah, and he made a damn good beer. So I'm going to take beer.
There we go.
Now, a little bit more about the show. So as we wanted to just kind of take this show to just tell you a little bit about what to expect as we're, going on with the season. So we're going to have friends and guests appear on the show per episode moving forward. So, next episode we're going to have a good friend of mine on. And
very important man.
Yeah, he's the one who helps us put together all of the music and stuff that you hear and do the production. His name is Jamie Sweetland. And so, for instance, he's going to be on and he's going to bring a beer to the show and we're going to try it. And we're going to do that with any guests that come on the show and hang out, talk about nerdy stuff and drink. So we hope you guys enjoy it. So Jojo, why don't you tell the world a little bit about yourself and what you like and all that good stuff.
Usually bearded. I had an incident recently, and I am no longer bearded.
Yeah, it's weird.
It really is. It's like,
no, it's not. I mean, you're fine.
Well, you say that. No. I don't know. I'm a retro gamer. I started back in the Atari 2600 days. I used to run on things on DOS when the colors of the monitors were one. It was black and green.
Yes.
And I don't know. I have a nostalgia for the older style games where you can go in, play for 20 minutes, get out, and there's no commitment there.
Yep.
A lot of the newer games, they're fun. They're graphically enhanced. They're amazing. The sound is fantastic. but you have to divulge 80 hours of your life to them. And I guess I have commitment issues.
Maybe. Is that, are we like uncovering deep psychological issues with you? By talking about this?
So I'm going to drink some more beer now and avoid that question at all costs.
That's fine.
But other than that, again, grew up in the geek culture, Aliens, Star Wars, Doctor Who, more recently the World of Warcraft. But I remember the original Warcraft games and StarCraft games as well, which is why I got into World of Warcraft so big as what I did back in the day. Big audio guy, which is ironic since I'm half deaf on my mom's side, I guess. And that's me in a nutshell, I guess.
You're half deaf. So which side are you deaf on? I always have to remember.
On my right side. No, I'm deaf on my left side. I'm good on my right side.
Okay. I always forget. I always end up talking to you on the wrong side of your head.
Don't worry, I'll point my head at you.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, so no, that's good, and you touch on something that's very interesting because the whole video game, I guess the culture hasn't really changed where we're still experiencing like awesome stories and stuff.
Right.
But dude, we're getting like old and we don't have time to play video games.
Exactly. We're not 14 years old anymore.
I know, it sucks.
It's not like you go to high school, you come home, you've got 8 hours to play video games anymore.
Right. One of my favorite things in the world is like sitting down for like, I don't know, good 8 hours and playing some Dragon Age Inquisition. Or The Witcher. I just got The Witcher.
Yeah.
And like that game just is so immersive. And damn you, Alex Tinsley, for getting me into that. But like, I just don't have time to play it, man. It's so immersive, and I wish I could sit down and just go through it.
You see, I would love to do 8 hours of Rock Band, or just play a little bit of Mega Man or a little bit of Double Dragon. I don't want to spend an entire 8 hours on one game.
So those are old games. So like, what's like your like favorite game ever?
Probably Double Dragon 2. Yeah? I still play that on almost a weekly basis.
Is that the co-op one where you like sit down? You can have like it's a 2D side scroller, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And my brother and I used to play all the time.
Yeah.
We would play through it, religiously on the NES. I still play through it on my Wii U. That's a digital download, definitely.
It's so good.
What about you?
Oh God. All right. So anything Star Wars.
Obviously.
Anything Star Wars, and we're going to talk a lot about that, folks.
Yeah,
you're going to hear a lot.
Because of Star Wars,
you're going to hear a lot
games.
about Star Wars, especially right now because of the movie coming out, and again, just my selfishness and wanting to talk about it. But anything Star Wars. I've been going through. I'm a late adopter here, guys, but Doctor Who is fantastic.
It is.
For people who are familiar with Doctor Who or anything, I just got to the point where Donna becomes a companion. So are you familiar with that, Jojo?
Yes, very much.
So it's awesome. I hated her so much.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin anything.
But listen, like and when she showed up in that Christmas episode, and she was
Runaway
there,
Bride,
that one, and she ended up just showing up in the TARDIS, and then I was like, God, who is this complaining, like, terrible person? And then and I had this conversation, actually, it was with Jamie yesterday. We were talking about it, and I was like, dude, I hated her, and then halfway through that episode, something just clicked.
Right.
And I was like, I love this woman. She's awesome. I hope she becomes a companion.
Right.
And then she didn't. I'm like, oh, what the hell? And then Martha came along. Martha's fine.
Right.
I just saw the episode where they kind of come back and she's in charge of some kind of military organization and all that stuff. So she's fine, but I'm really liking Donna's personality. And for you guys who are big Doctor Who fans, you guys are probably sitting there like, oh, this dude hasn't even gotten like anywhere near where we are now, and I get that.
But you're still with 10th Doctor. You're still with David Tennant.
Oh, but that's the thing, dude. David Tennant.
He is amazing.
Incredible.
I don't know if he's my favorite Doctor. He might be my favorite Doctor. Got a kind of bit of a man crush on him because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Matt Smith will grow on you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was scared at first, but Matt Smith holds his own.
His performance as a Doctor, though, is
perfect.
just amazing. And I don't cry during shows, but dude, that last episode with Rose,
right.
Like I
don't think I
actually
talked for 2 days.
I welled up a little bit. I did. So
I don't think I talked for 2 days. I was so morose everywhere I went. I was just somber in my cubicle.
It's just brutal, man.
Yeah,
but,
it really was.
But beyond Star Wars and Doctor Who, I've also I'm a big Star Trek fan, and anything like that, superheroes and comics and all that stuff. But
so we talked about what you like. Who are you?
Oh God, me. My name is Alex. Who am I though?
Hi, Alex.
I don't know. I grew up in this DC area. For those of you guys who are listening, Jojo and I hail from the DC area, just outside of DC. I lived in this area my whole life though, and I grew up
Army, so I've been here for a while now. But
yeah, and I grew up in this area. I went to school in this area. I went to college in this area. I am married. My beautiful wife is downstairs hanging out with the pups right now. Probably filled up the baby pool down there, and they're running around in the backyard.
Just one of 4 reasons why he doesn't have 8 hours to dedicate to video games anymore.
I have a wife who I'll preface this. She's super supportive.
Oh, she's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I love her to death too.
But I love her, and I want to give her attention and do things with her too beyond just playing video games. But I also got two dogs, one of which we just adopted about a month ago. So he's our second. His name is Finn. Again, a nerdy reference. That is named after Finn from Adventure Time. It was a fitting personality. If you ever meet Finn, you'll understand why. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. I kind of love all things geek culture, and that's one of the reasons why I love hanging out with Jojo here, is that we get to talk about all this stuff. Whereas again, I love my wife to death, but she doesn't get it as much as we do. So, and that's cool, and I accept it.
What is it? Opposites attract, right?
That's right. That's right. So, that's a little bit about me, and big into video games. I'm also a musician. I'm in a cover band, and
I did music once. That took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah, that's tough. That makes it a lot harder, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and play music. I've been playing guitar for like 15 years or something. So yeah, music's a big part of my life. Beyond all that. And figured this project would be an awesome way to kind of take care of some of the creative outlets that I need in my life, and have an excuse to hang out with this guy over here, Jojo, and
try some beers, have some friends.
Yep. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, Jojo, anything else that you want to bring up? You want to go straight into the news?
And we might have to go straight into the news, actually, at this juncture.
Right on. Well, this is kind of old news at this point, but God damn it, I wanted an excuse to talk about it. So D23 was pretty spectacular. For people who were taking time to, keep an eye on all the announcements and stuff that were going on, there's a lot of exciting, a lot of awesome Star Wars news, but there's a lot of cool news about the parks in general. So just some background on Disney for you guys who may not know me very well. I grew up going to Disney World or Disneyland, but mostly Disney World, at least once a year. And I say at least because there were times where we went 2 or 3 times a year. Yeah. My mom is an absolute nut about that. And Mom, if you're listening to this, I mean then with all the love in the world. We
love you for it.
Yeah, because it has really helped me become who I am today and have an appreciation for a lot of things. They're building Star Wars parks.
Yeah, I've already got tickets.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, I don't have tickets, but I'm already gonna buy tickets to whenever the opening is because I have to be there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So from there's a really yeah. Are you kidding? There's a great website I encourage you guys to check out if you guys enjoy anything Disney related. It's called InsideTheMagic.net, and they had a great article that kind of summarized everything that happened, because there's a lot that happened. And this specific piece about Star Wars they talked about, Disney officially confirmed and announced plans to bring Star Wars themed lands to Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando and Disneyland Park in Anaheim. Each park will receive a 14-acre land, taking guests to a never-before-seen planet with 2 major attractions, one sending guests on a secret mission on the Millennium Falcon, and the other putting them inside a Star Wars adventure face-to-face with the First Order from The Force Awakens. That sounds freaking cool.
I'm all about that.
So, have
you seen the maps, though? They had, the...
Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. I don't remember too much about it. I'm trying to see. Oh, they have like a little. We're looking at like their website here, and they've got like a couple of links to some things. But I mean, it looks awesome. And if you guys have a chance, go to the website and check it out. We'll in the show notes and stuff. We'll put a link up to the website that we're referring to. They did some really, really cool intro videos that kind of hyped up the park, and it starts with this. It looked like some kind of, you're on some spaceship, and then all of a sudden this door opens up, and you look out into this lush wilderness with like a city, and it looks like something maybe like in a jungle, maybe, I don't know. And all of a sudden some TIE fighters start flying at you, and it goes dark, and it was a little bit chilling. It was awesome. But dude, 14 acres, that's like a lot of space.
So they already have attractions in Disney World. I don't know if they have them in Disneyland. So they have, was it the MGM Studios, or is it Hollywood Studios now?
Well, it's Hollywood Studios, but I heard that they might be renaming it. I don't know that for sure.
That I don't know for sure either.
Yeah.
But I know they have Star Wars attractions there. I don't know if they're going to leave those attractions there or move them over.
Well, they got rid of like a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
And
right.
I was talking to my mom about this.
Because the whole Magic Kingdom, that got expanded too.
Yeah, they recently
like
did. Yeah, they recently did that to add in like a whole bunch of other stuff. Like involving
Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Like a lot of stuff like that. They got rid of like that whole Toontown area. That was kind of useless.
Well, see, because that was Disneyland. I don't remember it being Disney World.
Yeah, Deanna and I went earlier this year. Yeah, it was like February.
Right.
And we saw, and we went up there. It's like completely changed. It's awesome looking.
Well, it's all, not Toy Story, Cars, right? Didn't they?
No, that's the one in Disneyland. They put cars and stuff there. I'm actually going there in January. I'm running a Star Wars 5K.
Nice. Awesome.
I don't know. I have to dress up, I think.
So there was a Toontown in Disney World?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. That's because I remember Toontown in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Like that a lot.
Yeah. Some other things about the Star Wars park that's kind of worth mentioning. So Star Tours, you know how they like back in the day they actually expanded on it.
Yeah.
So they basically put in new footage, basically a new experience, right? A little bit more up to date. And they're doing that again, but now with scenes from The Force Awakens. Okay. So they're doing that again. That's really cool. And this one looks really interesting, just kind of as a Star Wars nerd. So this is called Star Wars Launch Bay. It will be an interactive experience taking guests into the upcoming film with special exhibits and peeks behind the scenes, including opportunities to visit with new and favorite Star Wars characters, special merchandise, and food offerings. Star Wars Launch Bay will be located in the animation courtyard at Disney's Hollywood Studios and in Tomorrowland at Disneyland Park.
Now, I'm wondering if that's the actual, like the original characters, like Mark Hamill and I don't know. I can't.
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, Harrison Ford and all that fun stuff. Or if it's going to be people in cosplay.
Oh, it's got to be people in cosplay.
Because, I mean, they do that with like Gaston and Beast and
we're going to see like, dude, I swear to God, we're going to see people like when you see Jasmine and Belle and Cinderella.
Princess Leia.
Is going to be like coming up right behind them, which is,
they got
the rights. And for those listening, like, I am totally, and this isn't just me being a Disney fanboy or a Star Wars fanboy, saying this, I am totally cool with Disney taking control of Lucasfilm, because now Lucasfilm has the capital to do what they're doing with the movies.
I mean, look what they did with Iron Man. Nobody liked Iron Man, and then Disney got a hold of it.
Yeah, look at what Disney's done with Marvel. It's phenomenal. So I have zero worries. Some people are like, "Oh, are they going to do something stupid with the
rumors
franchise?"
Are still whether or not we're going to get the original copies, not the special edition edits of the original trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's that whole thing.
Still rumors there, but now that it's under Disney's hands, I heard somewhere that they might try to do that, as fan service.
What, you don't like how
Han Solo steps over Jabba the Hutt's tail?
It's not really. I feel like it's more of like he walks into another dimension, ends up on top of his tail, and then like trips and falls.
Right.
Because of how terribly it was edited.
Right.
But I think...
And, Han, to me, has always shot first.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Always,
there
period.
Yeah.
Not after, not at the same time. He's always shot first.
Yep. And so they also have the Jedi Training Academy. Man, if I was a kid, oh my god, why wasn't I like a kid now?
Exactly.
They're basically creating like a little area for kids to dress up as Jedi and learn the ways of the Force. This whole experience.
I feel like I would legitimately have my ass kicked if I ever went anywhere in that area. Bunch of kids with a lot of like angst and energy. They're at a Disney park.
I wonder how many cast members are going to get hurt. And then they're also doing the same. Season of the Force is a new seasonal event beginning early 2016, brings new experiences to both coasts. In Tomorrowland at Disneyland Park, guests will explore the Star Wars galaxy with special entertainment throughout the land, themed food locations, and more. Guests, they talked about they're going to be doing blue milk and all that, so it's awesome.
Blue milk and butterbeer, what's up?
Guests also will be thrilled to climb aboard Hyperspace Mountain, a reimagining of the classic Space Mountain attraction, in which guests will join an X-Wing starfighter battle at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Guests will close out weekend nights with a new fireworks spectacular set to the iconic score of the Star Wars movies.
So they're not taking over Space Mountain, they're just mimicking Space Mountain.
Well, no, like so for a short period of time, Space Mountain's going to change and
to Hyperspace Mountain.
Yeah, so like when you're like looking around in the dark and like you see like the planets and stuff, instead of a freaking X-Wing battle is going to be happening.
Leave it to Disney. They can pull it off.
That's what I imagine anyway as I'm on that ride. So the fact that they're actually doing that for me now, it just helps.
I have a video on YouTube of that, and unfortunately with cameras, you see the cool intro, and then it's black for 3 minutes, and then you get the outro. You know, so you have to use your imagination.
Right. And they got a lot of other really cool stuff. There's been a lot of talk about this Avatar land that they're doing. That's gonna they're expanding on Animal Kingdom, and they're gonna create this really elaborate Avatar land with things flying in the air.
They're gonna be in 3D.
Everything in 3D. No. And lots of cool things like that.
Mountains.
There's a lot of kind of expansion on Disney's ownership of the Marvel franchise. There's some really cool stuff happening in Hong Kong. So at Hong Kong Disneyland, much more exciting movement is happening with Marvel as the Iron Man Experience attraction takes shape. Disney showed off first look at the ride footage for the simulator attraction, as well as revealed the Iron Man costume character. And they have a video of that on the website. Again, we'll post this in the show notes and stuff.
Awesome.
So lots of cool stuff happening at D23.
Definitely.
Another really cool thing happening at D23 that they talked about was they unveiled a Star Wars movie poster. And this isn't an actual like official movie poster. It's created by the same guy who he's done a ton of other movie posters out there. But he drew this one, and the really important thing to note here is that the John Boyega's character has a freaking lightsaber, and that's awesome because there's basically a stormtrooper becomes a Jedi.
I mean, I'm slightly jealous, and I'm also highly excited.
That's badass.
That's really badass.
So that was pretty awesome. I think that was probably one of the more exciting things that I saw, just because I'm following this movie so closely. I was trying to edit it in.
Iron Man ride experience that they had over there. The Iron Man Samsung phone that they're coming out with, or have already come out with, it's only available overseas, not in the US.
That's a thing?
Yeah. So it's all skinned out and everything. It's a shell.
But it looks like Iron Man?
It looks like Iron Man. It's got Iron Man sounds. It's got Iron Man skin on it. It's still, unfortunately, Android, but, can't all be perfect.
Yep. All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
I want my iPhone to turn into Iron Man. That'd be cool. That would be cool. So that's a lot of the cool things happening at D23 that I at least wanted to talk about. Again, not the newest news, but I needed a chance to talk about it. Oh yeah, I see it. That's actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool looking.
Like the whole packaging, the boxing, everything is Iron Man.
Yeah.
The buttons, everything that they've done for it, So
wait, do they have other ones that are like the Hulk and
I don't know.
Black Widow? What did I just do to your computer? There we go. Hey, look, they got like Captain America.
But again, those are available only overseas. They're not releasing them in the US.
Boo.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever get one anyway.
Yeah.
Still, it'd be cool to see.
It'd be a good work phone for me.
Yeah. Speaking of overseas, Gamescom this year was pretty awesome on the Blizzard front. So, Jojo, you talked a little bit about your experience with Blizzard games. Like, what's your favorite Blizzard game?
My favorite Blizzard game is probably the original StarCraft.
Oh yeah,
I played the ever-living daylights out of that game. So that was still before the whole WAN thing, before everyone went wireless and Wi-Fi's and all that stuff. Everything was still LAN. I still remember the days of the original Xbox and playing LAN parties with Halo and playing computer games and all that fun stuff. So that's a big nostalgia thing for me.
Yeah.
But I played hours upon hours on end of StarCraft, and it was just so much fun. 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 4-on-4. It was just a great, great game for me. After StarCraft came Warcraft 3, I think, or Warcraft 2. I can't remember the order of all of them. But I remember with Warcraft 3, I was a big person for the Night Elves, which is ironic because when I play World of Warcraft, I'm all the Horde, and there's no Night Elves. Yeah, exactly, for the Horde. But I was in love with Illidan. Illidan was like my favorite character for Warcraft 3. So I didn't get into World of Warcraft immediately, but when they announced the Burning Crusade expansion, I had to get into it because, Illidan and the Black Temple, and I got to do this, and I got to do that.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And then I kind of faded out from World of Warcraft because it's been around for 10 years, and
Yep.
So I was like, okay, not a big deal. Well, they're announcing again the return of Illidan, and I have to play this.
Yep.
They're also announcing a Demon Hunter class, and it's like this is meant to be. I have to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yep, so World of Warcraft Legion was announced at Gamescom, which is, again, not the newest news, but something that we're both passionate about as Blizzard fanboys. And I've always been an active World of Warcraft player, and seeing this news, and I'm like you, man, the Night Elves were my jam.
Right, exactly.
And the Demon Hunter was my jam. And my very first character ever in World of Warcraft was a Night Elf Rogue.
Yeah.
Because they didn't
have a Mohawk?
No, they didn't have a Demon Hunter class, so I wanted a dual wielding class that could use like fist weapons because I was like, oh, this is the closest I'm going to get to a Demon Hunter.
Exactly.
And it took them 10 years to get this right. So right now my main character is a Blood Death Knight, undead.
Yeah.
For the Horde.
For the Horde,
right?
Definitely.
So I am going to be re-rolling to a Demon Hunter when this thing comes out. They haven't announced beta. They haven't announced release date. Nothing.
Well, it's Blizzard. They're going to take their time because it's going to come out. Well, I wouldn't say perfect. World of Warcraft never comes out perfect, but it comes out pretty darn close.
They do a darn good job.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something that I really commend. People don't give them enough credit for that. I think they have a habit of pushing out projects. I don't think that we're going to see that with World of Warcraft. I think they're actually working to be more aggressive about when things are releasing.
Right.
But they really, really give a shit.
Right, exactly.
If they put something out, which is really cool.
Which is why they're still in business, because the original Warcrafts, the original StarCrafts, StarCraft 2, Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft, all their games that they put out, they want to make sure that they've got their Blizzard seal of approval on this when it comes out. Diablo's fantastic.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And let me ask you this. The Demon Hunter class, and I don't know if you've looked too much into the class or anything, but
no.
You can only play as Night Elf or Blood Elf. How do you feel as a lifelong Horde player? How do you feel about rolling a Blood Elf?
See,
I'm all right with it. I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I'm conflicted because it goes back to my World of Warcraft 3 days where I was always Night Elves and I was always playing Demon Hunters.
Yep.
And now with World of Warcraft, I only played the Horde. That would be a tough.
Some people have something against the Blood Elves. Right. I don't care.
I think that's more the nostalgia that I played the Night Elves. I don't have anything against the Blood Elves, but it was kind of a Night Elf when I did it.
Yeah, and it makes sense from a lore perspective. If you guys are familiar with like the lore of World of Warcraft, of Warcraft in general, you're dealing with, these are two of the oldest races on Azeroth, and that's the world that Warcraft takes place in, and the Demon Hunter is an old, I guess an old profession,
right?
Like from back in the day before the Sundering, which is what split the world apart.
Exactly.
So from a lore perspective, it makes complete sense. And we're going to be visiting the Broken Isles, which is a big focus in the lore. It's where the Tomb of Sargeras is. And if you know anything about Warcraft lore, again, you know that he is the biggest of the bad guys out there. He was once, one of the Titans and fell from that and became a bad dude, and now he's in charge of the Burning Legion, and now the Burning Legion is coming to Azeroth, and we've got to fight them all back. So it kind of makes sense. We're going over here to this place where when the Sundering happened, this is where a lot of this stuff, was sort of happening the first time that they were trying to come in. So it's pretty cool. And as a big Warcraft nerd, I'm all about this.
So, and this is kind of a aside, but Thrall stepped down to focus on Shaman with the which expansion?
Back in Cataclysm.
Cataclysm,
yep.
Yes. So, who's the new leader for the Horde?
Yeah, so guys, Jojo hasn't played, hasn't kept up in a while. So
I'm sorry.
And it's okay. I'm going to give you a quick little rundown. Right. So, Cataclysm happens.
Right.
Deathwing comes. He's being an asshole to everybody.
Of course.
And
Definitely.
Yeah, and so he comes and tears the world apart, and he's causing a lot of trouble.
I know that there was a while that people were trying to get the achievement for being burned by Deathwing because it was a mark of glory.
No, it's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. I got that actually. And so the whole focus of that was basically getting the world back under control.
Right.
Thrall was a big part of that, obviously, because he's a big force as a shaman, and he's one with the earth and all that crap. So we go and kill Deathwing, and then throughout all of that, Garrosh Hellscream is the war chief of the Horde.
I remember that name.
And that is, if you're familiar with Warcraft 3, Grom Hellscream, that's his son.
Okay.
And Garrosh is a very hot-headed sort of,
he's
an pure.
Orc.
He's an orc.
Yeah,
he's an orc. So he's a purist in the way that he wants his horde to just be orcs and to be orcs with that bloodthirsty. I want conquering and death and destruction and war, and so there's a lot of tension happening during Cataclysm within the Horde itself. So you've got Vol'jin, who's in charge of the trolls, and he and Garrosh don't get along. You have Kieran Bloodhoof.
Yeah.
Garrosh kills him.
Really?
Yep. There's a whole backstory to this, but basically they were in a duel to the death. I forgot how to say it. It's some kind of orc thing.
Yeah.
But basically that means that they walk in, one person's going to walk out of that.
Oh, wow.
Because they were butting heads so bad.
Yeah.
And there was some other sorcery in the back about how Garrosh didn't know, but his weapon was poison and actually debilitated Cairn.
Yeah.
Because somebody on the Tauren side wanted him dead to begin with, and now Bane Bloodhoof, who's Cairn's son, is in charge of the Taurens. And so Bane's pissed off. So you got Bane who's pissed off at him, Vol'jin who's pissed off.
Yeah.
You have what's her name? Sylvanas, who's in charge of the undead. She's just pissed off at everybody.
Yeah, she's always pissed off. Yeah. she
doesn't need a reason.
Exactly.
No, but she's Garrosh doesn't see her as very trustworthy either, because if you remember during Wrath of the Lich King, the undead did that whole they spread the plague, or not the plague. What is it called, guys? What is it called? I forgot. I don't know. It's some kind of plague anyway that caused a lot of issues back in Wrath. So basically it's everybody against Garrosh, and then the Alliance all hate him because he's frickin' the Horde. So,
yeah, exactly.
So tensions are really, really rising in Cataclysm. Pandaria comes around, which I think is a beautiful expansion. Have you played that one?
I played through some of it. I got one of my characters to 90. I didn't see a lot of it. I kind of power leveled through a lot of it, so I kind of jumped like one or two of the worlds in Cataclysm just to get into Pandaria.
Oh, okay.
And then I went through there. Did some of the dungeons. Didn't get a lot of the lore. I just wanted to play through there and do some of the dungeons with my friends.
Sure.
And I caught myself up at that point, but I didn't really dedicate myself to it, I guess.
It's a beautiful expansion. Just just by looking at it, man, it's beautiful.
It's one of the times that they jumped up the graphics and the capability.
Yeah, definitely. And but it also was great because they did a lot with expanding the story and helping us to almost bring in new lore into this game that was basically all it was doing was exploring old lore and bringing it back in from that point on. So it was great. At the end of that expansion, actually, you siege Orgrimmar.
Oh, wow.
And everybody is going after Garrosh Hellscream and trying to kill him because of all the things that he's done. It's this whole thing where he got the he got the heart of an old of one of like the old gods. Yashiraj was the god, and he was using that to basically corrupt the world and using it to conquer lands and stuff. And so people were getting pissed at him because he was screwing everything up, right? So to make a long story short, either the Horde or the Lions, whatever, the last raid that you do is the Siege of Orgrimmar. Okay. And it's a awesome raid. Lasted a really, really long time. There's a lot of gripe against Blizzard because they ended up taking about a year for them to by the time Siege came out to when Warlords of Draenor comes out. Right. It took about a year. But basically what happens at the end of Siege is that you don't kill Garrosh, you knock him out, they imprison him, but he ends up escaping, and he goes back in time, and this is where it's going to mind blown, okay? Right. So Garrosh escapes, he goes to one of the Bronze Dragons, and the Bronze Dragon flight is all about, time travel and all that crap. Yeah. So they end up taking him back in time, but not back to their time, it's an alternate universe. So all of a sudden they just like went Doctor Who or Star Trek on us. Right. And we're like trying to now stop.
Whoa, wait a second.
And now Garrosh is in Warlords of Draenor is working with his father, Grom Hellscream, and all the orcs of the original Horde. Yeah. And they create the Iron Horde. And now they are attacking our world. So they're crossing from their dimension into ours to try to take over Azeroth. Oh, wow. So that's what Warlords of Draenor is about. Okay. I think it's a wonderful expansion. Yeah. Throughout the questing experience. Beyond that, it's okay. Yeah. The rating's been good. I think the rating's been really good. I lead a raid team, and it's been a lot of fun. Filthy casuals and the AIE guild on Earth and Ring. So that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I think I'm excited to see what the new expansion comes out with.
Definitely.
So now that we're done, like giving a history of World of Warcraft,
we're just kind of showing you. Obviously, this was Alex's time to shine for the geekery.
Well, I don't know.
But we're trying to show you what this is about. Just have fun, go off on tangents. We love this stuff.
Yeah, and it's I play a lot of World of Warcraft when I can. Right.
In that 1 hour of time.
Yeah, that 1 hour time. I try to get in as much as I can. And like I said, I do raid every once in a while. So seeing a new expansion on the horizon is obviously something very exciting to me. And Jojo and I were talking before. It's something that this might bring you back. Huh?
That's yeah. I've got some loving to do. I think my main is 90. Okay. And this is at 110 right now, so I've got 20 levels of...
Well, something that you should know about is that when you buy Legion, they give you a free level 100.
There you go. Yeah. I actually still have a free level 90 from when I bought...
There you go.
Warlords of Draenor and then didn't play it. Oh, dude. I just want to keep up with that. I don't want to have to go in and say, I want to play this now and pay $120 for expansions. And,
No, it's fair. It's fair. I get it. It's a time suck, man. Yeah. But it's fun. So no, that the World of Warcraft expansion, back to the original point, was a really big deal. Also, it's a really big deal because in the past they've always announced this at BlizzCon. Right. Every fall time frame, September, October, November. Yeah, November actually. I'm pretty sure it's November every year. But they host BlizzCon out in California, and they announce big new products. Every year and a half or so, it's a WoW expansion. Right. This is the first time they haven't done it at a BlizzCon.
I'm wondering if they announced it early, so it's a playable thing at BlizzCon.
So I have a couple of theories. One, I think they did it because of that. I think that they want to have a beta out by BlizzCon.
You can head out beta codes to everybody who comes in.
Yeah.
And as well as our Murlocs that nobody else can get.
Yeah, damn it.
No. Damn it. I want those Murlocs. Damn it. BlizzCon one of these years.
But the other thing is that I think that they're really realizing that World of Warcraft is a 10-year-old game. Yeah, it's still a big deal in today's video game culture.
Right.
But it's also, not what they're focusing on right now. Not that they're not focusing on it. That's not the right way to say it. But they've got other IPs that are coming out. You've got Hearthstone, which is killing it.
Right.
They're making a ton of money with Hearthstone. It's a free-to-play game, but people are buying card packs left and right.
Exactly.
Heroes of the Storm, which is their new MOBA, which is a ton of fun, and I love what they're doing with it. And then they're also coming out with this new first-person shooter called Overwatch. And I've
seen and I've heard some stuff about that. I'm curious about it.
Yeah, so Overwatch looks really cool. Different types of characters that you can play. It seems
really left field from what they usually do, which is why I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and they're talking about how this is kind of the remnants of their other MMO project called Titan, or the Project Titan, or whatever they
ended up scrapping it.
And going with, they took what was left and created Overwatch. So that's the theory there. But I think that they're taking time to really show these other games some love. Because they deserve it. They're awesome projects, and I think that they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket anymore.
No,
because they've also had a huge drop off in subscribers.
Yeah, obviously.
World of Warcraft.
I mean, because again, it's a 10-year-old game. You can make it new only so many times.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and so we'll see what I'm really curious to see what happens in November with BlizzCon. We'll definitely be talking about it here,
right?
And I'll be sneaking on to the live stream at work and trying to watch that. I
can neither confirm nor deny that will happen at my place of employment.
Yeah. So the last thing that I want to talk about is Tacoma. So this is a cool game, and if anybody out there is familiar with Fulbright, they created this beautiful game called Gone Home. If you haven't tried it, you can get it on Steam. It's fairly cheap. I don't think it's more than $20. But I say it's a beautiful game because it's not a first-person shooter. It's a first-person game. And when Jojo and I before were talking about this need for a different sort of play style when we're playing video games and doing these things, I think this really hits home with me. Because this is the sort of gameplay that I've really grown to enjoy, and that is a first-person, maybe not even always first-person, it could be third-person, but really a single-player, story-driven experience. Gone Home, if you guys haven't played that, it's you're this girl coming home from, and I think it's in the 90s. You come home
before the internet.
Yeah, yeah,
like 96, 95.
And it's really funny because you come home, your parents and your little sister have just moved into this house. This house used to belong to an old uncle of yours who passed away, and it's a big mansion of some kind. And you come home from this road trip in Europe that you took for months. I think you were gone for 8 months or something. It's been a while since I played it. So you end up coming home and nobody's home, but they've been expecting you. So you're like, where is everybody? So all you're doing is walking around the house, inspecting various pieces of paper, different things around the house that are telling a story. And what's really beautiful about it is that it's all narrated by your little sister.
Huh.
So you read this piece of paper, and then all of a sudden in your ears you hear the little sister's voice almost telling a little story about what's been going on, and you start to understand this struggle that your little sister's been going through in a lot of ways, of just being a teen in high school, exploring your sexuality,
right?
Being confused about your sexuality. There's a
Still
lot
am.
I know. Get your hand off my leg.
I'm sorry.
Right. So
it's a very beautiful leg.
I know, but the way that they tell the story is masterful. It's nothing mind-blowing from a graphics perspective, but man, what an awesome experience. And it only takes you about 2 hours to play.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay.
That's the sort of gameplay that I got done playing that. I'm like, this is the type of stuff I love. And it hit home with me. You talk about an emotional story, and it was a totally different experience from anything that I've ever really experienced. And Tacoma coming out, they announced this game last year, but it's been progressing really well. It's coming out in 2016. Same people, Fulbright, they created this game, and it takes place in a space station.
Nice.
Similar sort of thing. You enter the space station and nobody's there. And you're trying to figure out the mystery of what happened to everybody. And the visuals remind me a lot of BioShock.
Really?
Which is one of my favorite games ever. Did you ever play BioShock?
I did not.
Yeah, you got to.
I've been told that I need to play it.
Oh, it's a beautiful.
I have commitment issues. You know this.
I know.
I want to spend 120 hours on the game.
I know.
I'll play Castle Crashers to be happy.
Oh, Castle Crashers is so good. It's so good. But that kind of brings back to the original point. I think that games like this, for me, are this story-driven experience are really, really fantastic. I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, what kind of you just mentioned Castle Crashers,
yeah, exactly,
and some other games like that, the 2D side scroller. Like, what gets you kind of going?
An idea that can get a full-on story in 2 hours is fantastic to me. I have commitment issues when it comes to games. I've heard so many great things about Dragon Age and Skyrim and a bunch of other games.
Dragon Age, I cleared it in about 90 hours.
90 hours?
Yeah.
That's 2 work weeks for me.
Yeah.
Of 8 hours of slaving every day.
I don't know how I even pulled it off. I don't know. But that's one of my favorite game franchises.
Or I can go play Mega Man for 2 hours, beat the game, be happy with myself. I've accomplished something.
Yeah. You see, I'm just like...
Play DuckTales, play Double Dragon,
or something. I hate myself for playing those games for so long. But I love it because I like the story and all that stuff. So.
Right. Well, I'm pretty much a movie buff. I love movies, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and I'm happy. When I get into shows, I feel at that point there's a commitment, and after like the 4th or 5th episode, I just want to watch them. It almost becomes a utility kind of a deal. And I feel that way about these games that you have to invest. They're not RPGs, but they kind of are becoming that way. You're building yourself up, even though it's not an RPG. Even some of the newer games, Double Dragon Neon that came out on 360 and a couple of other platforms, you can build yourself up and you can do this and you can do that. It's like, I just want to play Double Dragon. I don't want to worry about leveling. Yeah. I just want to beat the game and be happy. I feel like an old grumpy man on my lawn, yelling at the kids, and I don't know. I love the old nostalgia, and that's why I love Rock Band so much. I'm excited for that to come out.
And you're a big Nintendo guy too.
I'm a big Nintendo fan
for that simplicity.
For that simplicity, because it's not necessarily about the graphic power horse that it needs to be. It's about the interaction with the game. And I'm excited for Rock Band to come out this year.
Oh, me too.
Not only because you can get your old library and bring it over to the new one.
How many songs.
Yeah, exactly. I have probably like half of what you have, and I have like 8 terabytes.
Guys, I spent way more money on Rock Band. There's my wife over here, Deanna. No, she's not. She knows though. Oh my god, I've spent so much money on Rock Band.
So I make a fair amount for a living per year, and I feel like he doubled that on his Rock Band collection. Yeah.
So, I didn't go into debt, people. I'm responsible.
He spent more on this than he did his wedding ring for the wife.
Wait, did I? Maybe. I'm thinking about it now.
The fact that he's actually thinking about it should be an indication.
Yeah. Anyway,
but what the premise of this is that you should be able to bring. I'm sure the licensing is going to be weird, and you won't get every song.
Yeah, they talked about maybe a few that aren't going to come over.
Exactly, because that's what happened when Rock Band went from Rock Band 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. A couple of songs fell off. So I'm sure bringing it over from the Rock Band on 360 to Rock Band on Xbox One, you probably lose a couple of songs, a couple of licenses on there, but still you have the majority of your game history and everything, and it'll be awesome to have your library plus a new library plus whatever new comes out. Mm-hmm. And I want to take a stab at Sony right here. This is awesome. Microsoft is doing an awesome thing. They're doing an awesome thing with Windows 10, which I just loaded on my PC at home.
Me too.
I've been playing around with it, and it's a lot better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, so far so good. I haven't tried any of the streaming stuff with Xbox yet.
I haven't, apparently, and of course it's Windows, so it's going to take a little while. But I have both my Xbox updated to the latest version. I have my PC updated to the latest version. It still won't stream quite yet. There's something not talking to each other, even though they're on the same network. So I'm still working with that, but the idea of that is fantastic to me. The idea that you can bring your old games over, with the 360 games, anything that was on the arcade, in the fall months you'll be able to play them on your Xbox One without having to pay for them again. Mm-hmm. Any of your saved games that were on the cloud, we'll just bring right over, so you don't have to start from scratch. If you have any of the CDs or DVDs, you can just pop them right into your Xbox One and they will play. That is amazing to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sony's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if they ever will.
Yeah,
either.
I never really got behind the whole Gaikai thing where they turned it into Sony streaming. And I like the idea. If you didn't own it, now you can stream it. But if you do own it, why would you want to pay money to stream the game that you already own?
Yeah.
That never made sense to me. So I like the approach that Xbox is doing. It's like, you already own the game, we're just going to give it to you.
Yeah,
You know?
that's nice.
That's
nice.
fantastic.
It is nice. I've got, I was thinking about getting that Sony, what was it, the Sony TV or something?
I've been told that even the Sony TV doesn't do like some of the streaming stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't.
platform.
Yeah, it doesn't do it doesn't support any of that. But I have all these like I have like the old Final Fantasies
Right, exactly.
that I got from there, and I kind of wanted to play. Like I was itching to play Final Fantasy VII. And
that's another thing that really makes me mad.
Not that like I have the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but like you get these
game, right?
you get these itches.
That's another thing that really kind of irks me is that Sony's whole marketing thing since December of last year has been Final Fantasy VII. In December of last year, they brought Final Fantasy VII to the board. Hey, you can now get the support on your PS4. It's fantastic. And
it's also on iOS.
And iOS now for $15, $17, something like that.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's because it's Squaresoft.
Yeah. I ended up buying it, by the way, like when I had that itch. So I didn't get it on my iOS.
Right.
I got it on my gaming rig
right.
on Steam. It would like the whole all these Square Enix titles were on sale. Like I got Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 for like under $20.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Or it was around $20, something like
exactly.
that. But it was super cheap. And
but Sony comes in, what is it? 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whenever E3 was out. It's like, hey, dog, I know that you just put out Final Fantasy VII. We're gonna put out Final Fantasy VII again as a remake. It's like, but you just announced that. That kind of pisses me off.
Really?
I'm
all right with that.
That's your thing.
Just because I don't know. I'm one of those people that always wanted the remake.
Right. Well, I can understand that. I am on the opposite side of that spectrum because I was a big RPG guy. I played Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI, or 2 and 3 for Super Nintendo gamers out there. I played those religiously when I had a Super Nintendo. And then Final Fantasy VII came out, and I was mowing lawns, and I had to save up my money. I had to buy my PlayStation 1 and get my copy of Final Fantasy VII on 3 disc and all that fun stuff. I never finished the game.
I haven't beaten it once. Yeah. I played it through. I tried playing it through like 3 times.
Never finished the game. It was,
but it's still so, even replaying all this. It's like there's a sense of nostalgia and it's exciting because I'm like 13 again. I don't know.
Half of me understands that. The other half of me is like, I don't have the time for that.
I know. Me too. I'm in the exact same boat. I get
the Super Nintendo RPGs was a 12-hour commitment.
Yep.
And it could be a 20-hour if you really wanted to be OCD about something. Final Fantasy was at least 80 hours and 3 CDs. And, I love the PS1 black CDs, so those were really cool back in the day. Cool. Yeah. But there was a commitment there, and I think that's when I realized I had a commitment issue as far as video games concerned. I was like, I don't want to dedicate that much time. I want to be able to play.
It's hard these days, man. Yeah. It's really hard. I've
ADHD
I've still got, like I said, The Witcher to go through.
Right.
And then I've still got Shadows of Mordor to go through.
not even going near that. I love Lord of the Rings, but I've
been dying to play that game.
Right.
And I've had it since like Christmas. Dude, I've had it since Christmas.
Right.
Oh.
I just want to go play Castle Crashers for 20 minutes and then be happy, or play a couple Rock Band rounds.
Dude, I think I have Castle Crashers on my Xbox 360 downstairs.
Right.
Do I have that installed?
And since I'm on the cloud, I can log into your Xbox and we can just start from scratch. There you go. Which is amazing, So, love that technology.
Well, let's do this. Let's wrap this shit up so we can go play some Castle Crashers.
That sounds like a great idea.
So
glad you came up with it.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This was our first episode. Hope we didn't bore you guys too bad. I think we had some fun. Also, some delicious beer, Newcastle Brown Ale.
Gotta have it.
If you guys haven't tried this, it's wonderful. And if you guys don't like it, screw you.
It might be our only mass-produced beer on our show, but it's really much worth it. Very much worth it.
Jamie's already told me the type of beer he's getting for next show. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it to you either. It's going to be a surprise.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I think people may know this beer, and you either love it or you hate it. So we'll see.
It's not wheat beer.
No wheat beer. No wheat beer. None of that. We don't have enough time for that.
Awesome.
So again, thanks to everybody for listening. Jojo, where can people reach us?
Well, they can reach us at geek30podcast@gmail.com. Now, I know we were geek:30 on everything, but when it comes to email or Twitter handle, you actually spell out geek30. So it would be GEEK Geek30, THIRTY. Wow, I actually spelled today.
Look at you.
podcast@gmail.com. So again, Geek30podcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter handle @Geek30. And you can always go to our website, Geek30.com. Again, that's spelled out.
Wonderful. And you could also give us a call. Leave us a voicemail, 443-424-3350.
Drop us a line. Tell us, hey, you're doing a great job. You suck. We don't like you. You want to stay on topic more. You want to stay on topic less. Let us know how we're doing.
This is our first time at this whole podcast thing, so we're kind of learning it. But special thanks to Jamie Sweetland for all production, awesome.
He's awesome.
Music and stuff that you guys hear. And thanks again to you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
See ya.